Hi friends, welcome back to today's module 9, Drag Estimation of an Aircraft. Dear viewers, today you will learn about aircraft engine selection process, drag estimation of each component of aircraft, and total drag force acting on an aircraft during cruise, takeoff and landing. So stay tuned till the end of the video to learn in your design aircraft. So this video is specially for graduate level students to perform design of aircraft in your academics. Any design began with the historical or literature survey of your specific aircraft. Since this video is focused with engine sizing and drag estimation, these are my specific data about the number of engines, thrust for various passenger aircraft. So I have made the trade study with expected thrust for an engine for 440 passenger aircraft with a Mach number 0.85. So from both the graph, it is expected to get 800 kilonewton thrust. So two engines with 400 kilonewton each. As you can see from both the trade study. Now again the trade study about engine who can produce 400 kilonewton. One Rolls-Royce trained 800 and one is a Pratt & Whitney 4000. Both are having with the configuration of high bypass ratio turbofan. Okay, so comparing this in my design, I will be choosing Rolls-Royce Trent 800. The most prime reason is whose dry weight of the engine is less compared with the Pratt & Whitney. So while you are designing an aircraft, it is not necessary to design the complete engine and its component. You can select or opt the best one from the existing engine for your aircraft. So coming to the next is a drag estimation. Now what is drag? So being an aerospace or aeronautical engineers, all might know that it is a resistive force act opposite to the forward motion of an aircraft. Okay. So drag is commonly divided into three parts: parasite drag, induced drag, wave drag. So based on the research, parasite drag break down into three components. First is skin friction, form drag and interference drag. So already you all are aware of the type of drag or the reason behind it. So without wasting much time in this video, mainly you will be going to focus on drag estimation or calculating the total drag estimation or drag coefficient for the aircraft design so far. So mathematically, total drag coefficient is the combination of parasite drag coefficient CD0, induced drag coefficient CDI or KCL square, where K is the lift induced drag coefficient factor depending on the flight speed, CL is lift coefficient and CDW is a wave drag coefficient. So now this K, this lift induced drag coefficient, varies with the type of flight regime. Now for the subsonic, if we consider the K value is 1 by pi EAR, whereas in the case of supersonic, K equals to aspect ratio into Mach number square minus 1 cos swept angle by 4 times of aspect ratio root over m square minus 1 minus of 2. Now one more parameter when you are considering for the supersonic and subsonic. Supersonic, there is no formation of wave drag. So we will ignore this when you are designing subsonic aircraft. But in case of when you are designing for a supersonic aircraft, it is a dominant one. Okay. Later part of the video, I will explain the formula used for the wave drag coefficient for a supersonic aircraft. Note that CD value, that is CD naught plus CDI factor, is common for all the aircrafts. So first parasite drag or the zero lift drag coefficient, that is CD naught, equals to CD clean plus CD naught high lifting device plus CD of an landing gear. For in case of cruise condition, CD naught will be CD naught clean, and in case of takeoff and landing, CD naught will be CD naught clean plus a high lifting device plus of landing gear. Now, what is CD naught clean? Aircraft component drag excluding the high lifting device and the landing gear, if in case of retractable, okay, and addition of the leakage or the perturbation drag plus of the miscellaneous drag. So in order to calculate clean zero lift drag coefficient of an aircraft, which includes wing fuselage body, horizontal tail, vertical tail, engine nacelle. When we talk about this leakage and perturbation drag, which depends on aircraft to aircraft components, as you can see in the table, in case of my design, it is a jet transport aircraft where we can consider the 2 to 5% of the total clean parasite drag coefficient. That is the CD naught clean, whatever the amount we will get, from there 2 to 5% will be the perturbation or the leakage of the aircraft component, plus the miscellaneous drag. Now miscellaneous drag includes the trim drag, or it may be of other form of drag, so which can be ranges within 0.001 to 0.0032. So again, depending on the designer. So mathematically, this clean zero drag coefficient of a component can be noted as CD naught clean equals to CD naught of wing body plus the horizontal tail and vertical tail plus the nacelle. Now CD naught is equals to the summation of CFE FF dot Q dot S weight by the S reference. Now CFE means skin friction coefficient, which mainly due to the skin friction drag. Now FF is the form factor which take into the account of the pressure drag of each component. Q refers the interference factor which takes into an account of interference drag. Now S weight and S reference. This factor is a ratio between the weighted surface of each component to the reference surface area of wing. Weighted surface area is the area in contact with flow field, or it's an exposed area submerged into external airflow. That means it does not include the component which is buried into the fuselage, but it is been included which is exposed into the fluid, air fluid. Okay, so basically the CD naught defines the summation of CFE FF into Q S W weight by S reference. S reference represents the reference surface area of the wing. Now let's consider part by part. Now first we will find the wing body of an total drag estimation. So estimation of CD naught of a wing body. So CD naught equals to CFE FF into Q into S weight by S refer. Now to find the skin friction drag, that is CF, it depends on Reynolds number. Now Reynolds number depends on another two parameters, whether the flow is laminar or the turbulent. Okay, so first we need to find your nature of the flow. To find the nature of the flow, you have to implement this formula, that is Reynolds number equals to velocity into characteristic length by the kinematic viscosity. Now in case of wing and empennage, the characteristic length is mean aerodynamic chord. Now kinematic viscosity is the function of aircraft's altitude. In case of my design, my flight will fly at an altitude of 13.5 km. So based on the international standard atmosphere, right? So I will obtain my mu value to be 5.475 into 10 power minus 5 meter square per second of air. Now based on your aircraft, you have to decide at what altitude it is flying. From there, from the international standard atmosphere, you have to find the kinematic viscosity for your aircraft, right? So for mine is this one. Now considering for the wing, now characteristic length is the mean aerodynamic chord of an exposed wing. So the formula will be something like this. That is a common formula, 2/3 of CRE 1 plus lambda E plus lambda E square by 1 plus lambda E. Now CRE is the exposed chord root and lambda E is the exposed taper ratio. Now we will find using this formula CRE equals to CR minus CT by B by 2 into DF by 2, where CR is 10.5 meter and CT is 3.15 and DF equals to 5.78 meter. And substituting all those value, now what is B? B is the basic span, that is 64.32 meter, which we have opted in wing design. Now substituting all the value, we get CRE about 9.84 meter. Okay. Now from here we will find the taper ratio. Taper ratio is a lambda E CT by CR, that is tip root to root chord. So substituting this value, we get the taper ratio of exposed wing is to be 0.32. Now substituting back all the values in the mean aerodynamic equation. So we get around mean aerodynamic chord equation becomes 7.04 meter. Now we got this substituting in the Reynolds number formula. Now after substituting, we get the Reynolds number to be around 3.76 into 10 power 7. It clearly says the flow is turbulent in nature. Now, in addition, we will consider one more consideration is a skin roughness factor because of the type of paint used in our design aircraft. Let's assume from the standard table or from this table, standard paint on the aluminium whose roughness factor is 1.015 into 10 power minus 5 meter. This factor is taken in account. The Reynolds number is called as a cut-off Reynolds number. This cut-off Reynolds number again depends on the type of flow field, whether Mach number is less than 0.8 or greater than 0.8. Now based on your design, whether it is transonic, supersonic or subsonic, you have to select the cut-off Reynolds number. Now in case of my design, it is a transonic, that is 0.85 Mach number. So I will choose this formula, cut-off Reynolds number to be 44.62 L by K power 1.053 M power 1.16. Okay, so in our design the Mach number is 0.85 Mach number. So substituting the values, okay, now here again L by K, L is the again characteristics length. Okay, here our characteristic length is the mean aerodynamic chord of wing which is exposed. Okay, substituting the value, we will get that value around 6.965 into 10 power 5. Now cut-off Reynolds number coming to about 5.2 into 10 power 7. Okay. Now substituting back to this skin friction formula, as you can see, substituting all the parameters and you get the CFE about 0.0022 skin friction coefficient. Similarly, second parameter is the form factor of wing. To find the form factor, again you have to use the formula. Basically, this aircraft design based on the formula type of flight and type of the flight regime. Okay, so again it comes with a very important factor within whether your aircraft wing platform is swept or unswept. Okay, if it is unswept, you have to use this formula. If it is swept, okay, in case of my design, which I am giving a demo, so in case of my design, it is in swept back wing, so I will use this formula. Okay, in this design I have chosen a NACA airfoil of 23012 where its root thickness is 12% and 29% of the chord. Okay, so where in this formula x by c is the location of the maximum thickness to chord ratio. Okay, and m is the Mach number and lambda is the swept angle. Now substituting all the values and my form factor coming to be around 1.58. Okay, now coming to the next parameter is the interference factor. Now interference factor with respect to the wing, it depends on the position of the wing and the fairings. Okay, in case of my design, every design whatever you do, it based on the type of your design. In my design, it is about low wing configuration. In case of low wing configuration, the interference factor Q is 1, as you can see in the table, reference table. Now to find out the weighted surface area of the wing, okay, again we have to find the weighted surface area of the wing. Now using the formula based on this, 2 into S exposed 1 plus 0.25 of T by C of root into 1 plus tau lambda by 1 plus lambda. Now where tau is a ratio between the tip thickness to chord ratio to the root thickness to chord ratio. In my design, the tip was around 10% thickness to chord ratio and root was about 12% thickness to chord ratio. So applying that, we get the tau around 0.830. Now lambda of my wing was 0.3, that is taper ratio. Now substituting that value, now what is that mean by S exposed? Again we need to find the wing exposed. Now how we can find? Again by means of formula, that is how much of wing area is exposed in our design. So using this formula, B by 2 E exposed CRE plus CT by 2 into 2. Why into 2 means? Because both the side we have wing on the right and the left hand side, so that's why into 2. So this is the B by 2 is a semi wingspan exposed. Now semi wingspan exposed equals to B by 2 minus DF by 2. Okay, now using again substituting the known value and you get B by 2 is around 29.53, and from there substitute back in X exposed area, we get around 383.59 meters square. Now again substituting back to this the main swept formula, we get around 789.293 meters square. Now from there you have found out all the 4 factors, and all the 4 factors you need to substitute back in the zero lift drag of an wing, that is CFE into FF into Q into S weight, that is weighted surface area by the wing reference area. Substituting, we get the CD naught of a wing around 0.0062. Okay, next component is the fuselage body. Now here we will find the zero lift drag of an or a parasite drag of a fuselage body. Now we will use the same formula, that is CD naught equals to CF FF Q S weight of S reference. Now again it start with the screen friction drag. Based on the Reynolds number, we can find out the screen friction drag. Here Reynolds number equals to V into character length of the fuselage by the kinematic viscosity. Length of the fuselage from the fuselage design, link is in the description box. You can find length of the fuselage of my aircraft is 68.47 meter. Now substituting there, and we got the Reynolds number about 3.638 into 10 power 8. Now again assuming that based on the skin roughness factor, based on the aluminium paint, we have taken the K equals to 1.015 into 10 power minus 5 meter. Based on this table, reference table. Now so we need to find out the cutoff Reynolds number. Now here our cutoff Reynolds number should be considered as based on the type of velocity of an aircraft. Now we will use this formula. From here our Mach number is 0.85, substituting the value, where here this LK we will take as the length of the fuselage to the skin roughness factor for the aluminium paint. Now applying, we get as 67.45 into 10 power 5. Now substituting back to this cut off Reynolds number, we get around 5.74 into 10 power 8. Now we need to substitute back this cut off Reynolds number in this skin friction coefficient formula. Here in this formula, and by resolving we get the skin friction drag for the fuselage body is about 0.0016. Okay, next point is the to find the form factor of a fuselage using this formula. This is irrespective of any speed and for any sweep angle or any type of fuselage. This formula is suitable for the any sort of fuselage. So here what you need to know is you need to know your fineness ratio. Okay, as when I was discussing about the fuselage design, so here I have given the importance of the fineness or the slender ratio of an fuselage body. So here in my design, the fineness ratio is about 11.85. Okay, now substituting back in this formula, I got my form factor about 1.029, approximately 1.03. Okay, next is the interference factor for my fuselage. Now the value is Q. Now based on the table, the Q is considered to be 1. So I will just simply consider the Q is value to be 1. Now coming back to this weighted surface area of my fuselage. Again I will consider or I will depend on the formula. Now this is the formula. This formula is also irrespective of any other conditions. This formula is constant for any aircraft. Okay, now based on your type of slender ratio or the diameter of the fuselage and the length of the fuselage, substitute the value. In case of my design, I got my weighted surface area about 1106.98 meters square. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute back in my parasite drag for a fuselage body. Now substituting 0.0016 into 1.03 into 1 into 1106.98 by 42.38. Now we get around 0.0041. Right now, combining this wing body configuration for a parasite drag, it is about coming to be around 0.0103. Now moving to the next component is the empennage, okay, which is a combination of the horizontal and the vertical stabilizer. If in case you don't have any vertical stabilizer, just ignore this factor, but if you have, then proceed the following. Again same procedure, need to find the screen friction drag. Okay, first find out the Reynolds number. Now here you will find out the Reynolds number using this characteristic length. Now here your characteristic length will be your mean aerodynamic chord of horizontal tail. Now similar fashion as you have found in your wing, so you will use the same formula. Now here 2/3 of CRE 1 plus lambda E plus lambda E squared by 1 plus lambda E. Now you will find out the root chord which is exposed in my design 5.81 meter. Now exposed taper ratio using this formula, it is about 0.42. Now substituting back to this mean aerodynamic chord, right, it is coming to be around 4.35 meter. Now this mean aerodynamic chord need to substitute back to the Reynolds number, okay, where my Reynolds number is about 2.31 into 10 power 7. Considering the skin roughness due to paint is about 1.015 into 10 power minus 5 meter. Now from here we need to find out cutoff Reynolds number, then substitute back to this same formula. Remember this point, this is for the condition for laminar for the turbulent flow. Mean aerodynamic chord for the horizontal tail by this skin roughness factor. So I will get around the cutoff Reynolds number about 3.15 into 10 power 7. Now again you need to substitute back in this skin friction coefficient formula. From there the skin friction coefficient drag for an empennage for an horizontal stabilizer is about 0.0024. Okay, now form factor for an horizontal tail of my aircraft, I will use the standard formula. This is the CFF for a standard formula. Again the same formula had been used in the wing design. Now I will substitute here and I get around 1.456. okay, next is the interference factor with respect to the conventional empennage. Now this factor depends on the type of your empennage. Now if it is a H, if it is a V tail configuration or a conventional, your interference factor will vary. Now choose from this factor from the table. So in case of I have used conventional empennage design, so my Q will be around 1.04. Now again coming back to this weighted surface area of an empennage. Now I will use this formula 2 into exposed area into 1 plus 0.25 of thickness to chord ratio. So in case of my empennage design, my thickness to chord ratio was around 9% and I have chosen an airfoil about NACA 0009. Okay, based on this basic formula as I have explained in the wing, so same phenomena you have to proceed. Make sure with the formula you do not make any error. So I have found my exposed area. From the exposed area I have substituted back in this swept area of an horizontal tail, and I got around 145.011 meter square. Now from here I again finally substituting back to my parasite drag for my horizontal tail. So it is about 0.0024 into 1.456 into 1.04 into 145.011 divided by 442.38. Keep that in mind. Here we need to consider the reference as a wing. Okay, I got around 0.0012. So similar way we will find for the vertical stabilizer. First we will find the skin friction coefficient. We need to predict the Reynolds number using this formula. So based on this we need to find out the mean aerodynamic chord of a vertical stabilizer. So first we'll find using the vertical stabilizer. Now here is a slight change while finding the root chord of an exposed vertical stabilizer. Okay, so we will use this formula. Please make a note of it. Okay, now from there further we will find the taper ratio. We will use the same formula. Okay, based on this formula we will find the mean aerodynamic chord of the vertical stabilizer, that is 5.92 meter. Now applying the Reynolds number formula, we get around 3.15 into 10 power 7, which is turbulent. Now considering the surface roughness due to the paint, that is K equals to 1.015 into 10 power minus 5, same for all the components. Now based on that we will find out the cutoff Reynolds number. So applying all the values in that equation, so we will get cutoff Reynolds number about 4.3 into 10 power 7. Okay, so I'm not going much deep because the procedures are same for the last few components. So we just again using the same formula for CF, that is skin friction coefficient. So after applying we are getting around 0.0023. Now we need to find the form factor for a vertical tail using this formula, as we have done for the wing, empennage and also for the fuselage. We will use T by C is around 9% and maximum thickness about 31% of the chord, and swept angle for the vertical tail is about 45 degree, which we have obtained from the empennage design. Link is in the description box. So after substituting all the values we will get the form factor about 1.209. Then finding out the interference factor Q for the vertical tail, again based on the reference table for a conventional tail it is around 1.04. Okay, now moving to that weighted surface area for vertical tail. Now we need to find using this formula, same as that of horizontal tail. So here also a slight modification in the formula, S exposed B vertical for the exposed equal to CRE plus CT by 2. Now substituting all the values, BVT equals to BVT minus DF by 2. So we get as BVT around 7.21 meter. Now from here we will get the exposed area of an vertical tail. Now once we get the exposed area from the vertical tail, we will substitute back in the weighted surface area for the vertical tail, coming to be around 82.346 meter square. Now we will substitute back all the values, okay, into that parasite drag for an vertical tail. So we will get around parasite drag for an vertical tail about 0.000538. Okay. After that we will moving to the next important component is an engine nacelle. Now from the engine sizing we have found out the length of the engine and the diameter of the engine. Now from the length of the engine, to find out the nacelle length we will multiply 1.5, and to find out the width of the of the nacelle, we will multiply 1.2 of the diameter of the engine. So here we'll use the length of the nacelle in place of characteristic length. So Reynolds number is about 3.64 into 10 power 7, so which is turbulent, and from there we will find out the surface roughness. From there we will find out the cutoff Reynolds number using the formula. From here, after applying the values, we get around 5.08 into 10 power 7. Okay, so once we get the cutoff Reynolds number, we need to substitute back in the skin friction coefficient, that is coming to be about 0.0022. So from here we'll move to the next is a form factor for the nacelle, can be obtained using this formula. This is a different formula for the nacelle. Okay, so applying that 1 plus 0.35 by ln by dn. Ln is the length of the nacelle and dn is the diameter of the nacelle. So applying, we get around 1.17. Okay, so once we find out the form factor, next comes to the interference factor Q for the engine. Now this factor depends on that where these engines are mounted on the fuselage or the empennage, or the how in which way it is mounted with the components. So in my design it is mounted on the wing. So in this case, from the reference I will get my Q value around 1.5. Okay, so my Q is 1.5. Moving to the next is a weighted surface area of the nacelle. Okay, so there is also a different formula for the weighted surface area of nacelle is 1.2 times of pi ln dn into 2, because we are using 2 engines, so that's why into 2. Okay, so again we will apply all the values and we are getting around 173.59, right? Meter square is my weighted surface area. Now coming back to this final formula, that is a parasite drag for an engine nacelle, substituting all the values and we get around 0.00152. Clean zero lift drag. So it is about the wing, fuselage, horizontal tail, vertical tail and the nacelle, engine nacelle. After adding all those parameters, we are getting around 0.0136. Okay, now let's consider the 5% of the clean zero drag lift for the perturbation and the leakage drag. So let's consider it is based on that literature survey, it should be 2 to 5% for the jet transport aircraft. Let's consider 5% in our design. So it is coming to be around this. Okay, that clean drag plus perturbation plus a miscellaneous. Now adding all the three, we are getting around 0.01728. That is a total parasite drag at cruise level. So here comes the clean zero lift drag coefficient percentage. Okay, so for wing it is about 35%, body, that is a fuselage, it's 23.6 approximately, horizontal tail and vertical around 3 to 7%, engine producing about 8%, and in case of miscellaneous it is about 17.2%. At the time of takeoff and landing, that is CD naught equals to CD clean plus CD naught high lifting device plus CD of an landing gear, 0.0022, 0.004 for in case of takeoff and landing. Okay, and this parameters will be added during takeoff and landing. So it is coming to be around this. Okay, now considering the induced drag coefficient, where recalling the induced drag coefficient, that CDI equals to KCL square. How we can find out? Based on aspect ratio 9.5, E is 0.85. Applying the values, we get K value equals to 0.039. Okay, now substituting over here, we form our drag polar equation to be this. Okay, but in case of supersonic flight, okay, in addition wave drag will be included. How to find for the same? So wave drag consists of two parts. The first part is a volume dependent wave drag and the second is the lift dependent wave drag. So the wave drag equals to the lift dependent and the volume dependent. So the lift dependent wave drag can be found if it is dominant. You can find using this formula KWL into S L square m square minus 1 by 2 pi L square. Now what is KWL is the parameter where it depends on the twice of S by BL whole square, where B is a wingspan, S is a wing area, L is the length of the fuselage, m is the speed of flight, and CL is a lift coefficient of the aircraft. Okay, whereas the volume dependent wave drag can be found using CDWV equals to 128 into KWV into V square by pi S L power 4, where V is the volume of the aircraft, okay, and KWV equals to 1.17 of 1 plus 0.75 of beta into B by L by 1 plus 2 beta B by L, where beta equals to root over m square minus 1. So after applying or substituting all the values, you can find for the wave drag for your aircraft. And finally, you need to add this wave drag in your drag polar equation to obtain the total drag coefficient for your aircraft. Coming to that last end of our video, now we will find out the total drag coefficient and the drag force acting on an aircraft. So first is a total drag coefficient. So for at cruise, CD equals to CD naught plus KCL square. At CD naught for the cruise is CD naught equals to CD clean. So CD clean is about 0.0173. Now we will get the drag polar equation as CD equals to 0.0173 plus 0.039 of CL square. Now CL at cruise we have already found in the wing design, which is 0.89878. Now substituting here the value, we get that CD, that is total drag coefficient at cruise condition, is 0.0474. Okay. Now at the time of takeoff, and landing, CD naught remains same for both the cases, about the 0.0203. Okay. Now applying in this drag polar equation, we get as 0.0203 plus 0.039 CL T naught square. Okay. Now from here, when we are finding for the takeoff, we need to find the CL, that is lift coefficient during takeoff, to W by S rho into VT square. Okay, so W by is a wing loading, that is 7357.5 Newton per meter square. Rho at the sea level is 1.225. VTO is that velocity during takeoff condition, can be found using 1.2 into V stall. That is V stall is around 60.42, which is found in wing design. So getting around 72.504 meter per second. Now substituting these values, we are getting around 2.29. Applying in this drag polar equation, 0.0203 plus 0.039 into 2.29 square, we get that total drag coefficient during takeoff is around 0.225. Okay, now coming to the landing, same method, but here in case of landing, this is the formula. We need to find out the CL during landing. So CL during landing can be found using the lift coefficient during takeoff divided by 1.2. So after resolving, we are getting as 1.91. Okay, so from here we know this CL, right? Substituting here, we get the CD about 0.1626 is the total drag coefficient for the landing condition. Now coming to this total drag force acting on the aircraft during cruise, takeoff and landing. First coming to the cruise, this is the general formula, that is half rho V square S CD. Okay, so in case of cruise, we will find that rho at that altitude, that is 13.5 kilometer. What is the density? It is about 0.246, and cruise velocity is about 261 in my design. S is 442.38 meters square, and CD during cruise is around 0.0474. So after substituting back in this general equation, we get my drag force during cruise about 175,695.22 Newton. Now similarly, I will find for the takeoff. Takeoff is also I will substitute in this general equation. Now here the rho will be around 1.225 and V will be the V takeoff which we have found, that is 72.504, and AC same, and CD will be the CD during takeoff. Applying this value we will be getting around 320,485.24 Newton. And similarly for the landing also we will find, that is half rho V square is CL. Here rho will be at sea level and velocity will be around during the landing condition. How we can find this velocity during landing? The velocity during landing can be found using this formula, that is 2 into 0.85 of W by S rho into CL during of landing. Apply all the values in this formula and we can find that velocity during landing is about 73.23 meter per second. Now applying that value in this formula, and CDL is about 1626. Okay, substituting all the values in this equation we get around 236071.89. okay. So here is the final result of drag estimation of the aircraft. So next session will be followed with performance prediction of design aircraft. So don't forget to drop your feedback so I can customize my teaching skills. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Stay blessed.